And welcome to Flexible Games, where we are doing a mod spotlight for Fortresscraft Evolved. In this spotlight, I'm going to be looking at a new mod that I just released called Advanced Quarrys. Quarry. This advanced query, you have the generic query that comes with the game. This mines out a 9x9 area and basically returns 10% of the ores that it finds. This new mod adds 3 more queries. These vary in size. Give you a look here at the differences. This inner ring is the vanilla query that comes with the game. This out one here, this one is the Mark 1. This one here is the Mark 2. And this out one here is the Mark III. Huge area. The other differences to the mod, or to the different queries, are the advanced query Mark 1 mines 20% efficiency, the Mark II a 50% efficiency, and the Mark III is 100% efficiency. Now you can hit the H key to get even more information on the query themselves. So you can see that not only is the World Eater, the Mark III, mines at 100%, it's able to mine the tier 4 ores, although you do need the DLC or be a Patreon. It is also capable of skipping 4 types of ore. So I have it by default skipping coal, tin, and copper. And here I've been running this one for a little while. This is an example. Let me get a little bit more drawing distance here. This is an example of one Mark III that's been running for a while. You can see it skips tin, copper, there's some coal up there. Hardened resin also is skipped. Obviously, there are tools in the game to handle resin, and I didn't want to override that. So it can skip up to 4 types. So you can have it skip, copper, coal, tin, and maybe iron. Or you could have it, you just choose 4. It's up to you how you want to have your mine run. The settings are all in a configuration XML in the mod directory called query config. In that, I also list all of the valid values that you can put. The other feature of the mod is the queries themselves have a base cost just like the original query. However, with their increased efficiencies, the multiplier to the cost of power when it's mining ores only is increased depending on the mark of the query. So the Mark 1 query, when it's pulling ores, it actually increases its power draw by 25%. The Mark 2 query has a 50% efficiency, so it doubles the power draw when it's mining ores, and the Mark III quadruples it. So the power draw of the query themselves when it's mining just regular rock is pretty much equivalent to the basic query. And that formula is pretty simple. It's 150 power plus however deep it is. So if it's 80 meters down, it's 150 plus 80 per block it's mined. And all the queries are mining at 5 blocks per second. The advanced queries, when it hits an ore vein, that power draw increases to the multiplier that I've specified. So when it hits an ore vein, it will start to draw much more power depending on how deep it is. So be aware of that when you go and you start mining. The power limitations also for the Mark III have basically been removed. It has a 40,000 power capacity plus a 10,000 power transfer rate, and that is per face. So you can put per face 10,000 power into it, and it will draw that power. So this query is capable of digging pretty much to the end of the world. Not the end of the world, but the end of where the ores are spawning, which is about minus 2,500. So the Mark III has much higher power draw than the Mark II, and the Mark I also has a slightly less power draw, but limited in depth. It only has a 600 power capacity, so it is limited to about the tier 1 to tier 2 ore range. It's a really good 20% efficient, just like if you were mining with a steel cutter head. The recipes for these quarries are as follows. The Mark I, basic quarry, more titanium, 5 steel cutter heads, and some conductive PCBs. The Mark II, the 2 organic cutter heads, which require pristine stingers, 50 fortified PCBs, and 5 massive faceted eyes. And the Mark III quarry takes the Mark II, 10 plasma cutter heads, 5 exceptional organic lenses, and 512 refined liquid resin. So it is a very advanced quarry for late game and just the massive pulling of ores. And just to, let it run and just smelt all the ores. I recommend using the hopper mod that has been released, which adds these hoppers, these one-type hoppers. So you can have a hopper, you have a smelting operation, you can have a hopper that literally stores 500 of one type. So you can have a smelting operation, then sort out the bars into all their types and store a lot of items, a lot of bars in one hopper. So I will be doing a showcase on that hopper mod next. So stay tuned for that. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.